Hello, grade secondary 1 students. I hope you're doing amazing. Today we're gonna study revision 3 from New Hello 4 and with me teacher Marwa Shazli. Reading. Exercise 1. Read Dalia's blog. What old technology does she used to do? The things in the before you start exercise. Look at the picture. Now let's read together. In today's lesson, my teacher brought in different forms of technology from the past. He said find out how these things work and then give me your feedback. First, my group were given an old alarm clock. Clocks usually have 2 or 3 hands, but this one had an extra red hand. If you use it correctly, it will make a loud noise. The teacher said you must move the red hand to the time at which you want to wake up. It took us some time to understand how to move it, but finally the alarm worked. It was very loud. If I heard that noise in the morning, I would wake up immediately. Next, we were asked to find out school on an old map of the city. You should look for the name of our street in the list on the back of the map. The teacher said if you find square G5 on the map, you can see where our school is. After that, my group were given an old camera and a film. You must put the film inside the camera. My teacher said that was really difficult. If we did it wrong, it would damage the film. Fortunately, Hannah in my group had helped her father use an old camera, and so she knew what to do. Then we clicked the button on the camera lots of times and asked the teacher if we could see the results. If you take the camera to a special shop, they will show you the photos, said the teacher, but you must pay for that. And you must wait for some time until you can see them. We decided not to do this. In my opinion, some old technology is fun to use, but I'm pleased we have apps on our phones today. I think that most things are a lot easier to do these days. Dalia. Do you remember this question before reading? Let's check the answers together. The answer to this question is an alarm clock, a map, a camera with film. Question 2. Read the text again. Are these sentences true or false? Correct the false sentences. So in this exercise, you're gonna do 3 things. You're gonna read the text again, put true or false, and correct the false ones. Number 1, the thing the teacher brought in would be familiar to the student's grandparents is done for you true because they are from the past. 2, Dalia understood the benefit of the alarm clock. 3, Dalia's school wasn't on the map. 4, none of the girls had seen an old camera before. 5, the girls took lots of photos and enjoyed looking at them. 6, Dalia prefers modern technology. Put the video, do the exercise. Now let's check the answers. Number 1 true, number 2 true, number 3 false. It was in square G5 on the map. 4 false, Hannah had helped her father use an old camera. 5 false, they decided not to take the camera to a special shop to see the photos. 6 true. I hope all your answers are correct. Look at this picture. It's related to this exercise. Speaking. Discuss these questions in pairs. Would you know how to use an old alarm clock, map, or old camera if you were given them? 2. Do you think that there were any advantages to these old forms of technology? Explain your answers. 3. Look at these old forms of technology. What were they used for? What do we use to do these things today? Look at this picture. Okay, both discuss your answers with your friends. For number 1 and 2, they are your own ideas. 3. Telephone. To telephone people. Today we use mobile phones mostly. Typewriter. To write letters or documents. Today we use a computer. Fax machine. To send documents quickly. Today we use emails with attachments. Great. I hope all your answers are correct. Okay, I want you to look at these pictures. These questions are related to food hygiene. Number 1, do you eat food that has fallen on the ground? 2, when do you usually wash your hands? 3, do you usually clean the table before you eat a meal? Why not? 4, is frozen food always healthy? Why or why not? I want you to vote this and think of the answers. Exercise 6. What do you know about food hygiene? Discuss in pairs and agree or disagree with the following. So, with your in pairs with your peer, you're gonna communicate via WhatsApp group or Telegram group to disagree about these statements related to food hygiene. Number 1, we must always cook chicken before we eat it. 2, old food is probably okay to eat it if it doesn't smell bad. 3, if we wash vegetables in water from a river, they will be clean. 4, we can keep cooked rice in the fridge for a week or 2. 5, we shouldn't freeze fish for more than about 6 months. Okay, I want you to pause this video and do it. Okay, here we got some suggested answers. Number 1, it's true. Number 2, this probably depends on the food. You should never eat old fish or meat, for example. 3, this is not true. River water is dirty. 4, this is not true. You shouldn't keep rice for more than a day. Or 2, 5, this is true. I hope this exercise is easy and enjoyable. Before you start reading another passage about driverless cars, we're gonna read these questions. For point number 1, what are the advantages and disadvantages of cars? For the point number 2, in what ways do you think traveling by car will be different in the future? Exercise 1. Read the article. Why do some people think cars are not safe without drivers? People born in 10 years from now will probably never learn how to drive. Why? Because our cars won't need drivers and computers will do all the work for us. There are already driverless cars in many places, but at the moment they are only being tested. The computers they use must be able to recognize other vehicles, respond to people and things on the road, and know when the car must slow down or stop. For some people, the idea of a car without a driver is a frightening thought. However, experts say that 90% of accidents are because of mistakes made by people. Often it's because people are talking on their phones or feeling tired. With the driverless cars, people are free to send texts or even sleep without danger. The computers in driverless cars should also make it faster to travel around cities because they will choose the best way. They will also cause less pollution because there will be less traffic. But how safe are these cars? Some people say that they do not work well in bad weather. So far, there have been at least 12 accidents with driverless cars in America, although 11 of these were caused by other cars, so it might take a long time for people to feel relaxed enough to read a book while they travel. In the near future, driverless cars will probably become as familiar as the cars of today. In the past, people were also very worried by the idea of cars with engines. In the 19th century in England, when cars became popular, the law said that a man had to walk in front of them with a red flag to warn people. The law didn't change until 1896.